Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Fights. My name is Dr. Fish. I will be your op and one of your casters for this evening. Alongside me will be one of the original THL players. He has kind of returned after a bit of a hiatus. We have Andy Rogers. Hello, how are you doing?
One of the THL legends.
Yes.
Legends.
Hall
of Famer.
Hall of Famer. First class Hall of Famer. Andy
I think I'm actually second class.
Second class. Okay.
That darn Slim has first class, and I have second.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, well. But yeah, so glad to be back. Yeah, it's been a hiatus. I'm so excited to see how much the league has grown in the time that it's been since I've been here.
The fact that we can call it the fact that we can even call it a league again for so long.
Leagues.
We had that taken away for a while.
Yeah, I mean, just it's amazing. So I'm so excited to be back in the mix and the fold, and I'm even more excited to be casting tonight. We got a great matchup, some 5 seeds, so it's gonna be wild.
Yeah, we do have bands in. I'll go over the classes. So from Bassoon Buffoon's side, we have Demon Hunter, Hunter, Paladin, Warrior. And from Eternal, we have Hunter, Paladin, Priest, Warlock. So Eternal has banned the Paladin, and Bassoon Buffoon has gone with the Hunter band, the band that has been one of the 2 more prevalent bands recently, with Hunter and then the other one generally being Priest. So we have our class matchups here.
Bassoon's still scared, I guess, post-nerf of Hunter.
It's interesting. I think the classes that have really been performing well have been Priest and Warlock from what I've seen in stats. I mean, I haven't played too much of the game, but I mean, I still know how these decks work, so we'll definitely have a good time casting here. I'm
definitely super excited to see what kind of warrior Bassoon is bringing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's definitely a rare one. I don't see that too much in my neck of the woods. So
for sure, yeah. I don't see much warrior either, or I wasn't seeing it really before the patch. I'm going to go ahead and let the players get started. They have been awaiting my go, so I will tell them to start. So for those who will be watching, my first to spectate is going to be Eternal with Bassoon Buffoon on the top of our screen. This does have some playoff implications going for it. We'll get into it as the cast goes along, because I'm sure the players are going to hop into the match here pretty much right away. So any predictions for lead classes before we get in?
That's what I was trying to think. What do you go off with? One thing I've always learned about 5 seeds is that there's no predictions. Like you throw the book out of whatever you think is right or wrong.
For sure.
You open with the Hunter if you're Bassoon. Or maybe the DH, because you have taken out that Hunter and you're kind of scared, especially if you're playing like a Relic DH.
Yeah.
Or you go with the Warrior. You throw the curveball right off the bat. So.
Yeah, for sure. I've leaned more towards I've had one prediction with my start, but generally I like to just kind of go random 1 to 3 and see what happens. As my friends often tell me, best thing technically to start a Conquest match is to just do that. The players, we're just waiting on them to start. So I guess I can start. I guess I can bring up that for Eternal's team, E.T. Cthulhu, they are currently in the playoff race, while Bassoon's team is currently out of the playoffs with the Slaw Bunnies. But E.T. Cthulhu is right in there with 4 out of 5 Justins and Hot Zilfs, and they need to get some points going, because they have some opponents who are they have some teams who are right behind them and raring to get into the playoffs. So yeah.
A little pressure there on Eternal. Yeah, he's got you always want to make sure that you...
I typed it in the wrong chat. That's why they haven't started. Oh, well.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, my typing difficulties.
Yeah, definitely. There's a little more pressure on Eternal. But if you're BB, you always want to end the season out strong.
Definitely.
Pick up those PR. Show that you're good. Either keeping on the same team, or maybe he's looking for a new team. Wants to showcase what he's doing, and both of these guys, of course, being on stream. maybe it's their first time. I don't know.
Both players. Eternal has been a frequent person to play on stream the last couple of seasons, and Bassoon has played on stream once before that I've been a part of. But yeah, definitely I think both players sitting at a 4-3 record, so you really want to end with that 5-3 record to really feel good about the season that you had. 4-4 also still nothing to obviously.
You definitely always want to be over 50%.
But you want to get that over 50%, yeah.
I didn't think we started here.
Yeah, it did start, so I'm going to load up the screen. Alright, it is Warlock versus Demon Hunter to start us out here.
Your soul shall be mine.
To see the Grimoire. So, okay, so it isn't a full imp lock.
Yes, it is.
If we see the Imp Gang boss, that means that it's going to be full imp lock.
Yeah.
And then on the other side,
other side looks like a Fel Relic DH. They are running the Meltranics, which I've seen. I might not be the biggest fan of Meltranics overall in the deck.
That card has its weird. It's like,
so niche.
It's so situational, but when it hits that situation, it will mess you up. And that happened to me on ladder with Rimuru Temp, who's like probably top 10 ladder. He pulled it like I was so far ahead of him in a game. Mm-hmm. He dropped that on me, and it locked my whole thing out. The only thing I could play was like a 4 mana uninfused.
Oh, gotcha.
What's the stupid
Mischief Simp?
No. This was on Mage actually.
Mage?
But yeah.
Oh, okay.
He like completely locked me out with that. So I don't know how that's gonna affect though the the Warlock, just because like the Warlock doesn't really keep a ton of cards in his hand, and most of them are pretty cheap. Although we do see he does play the top end side in Athreus. So yeah. Good start so far for Eternal on this Warlock, but we do have the Relic Vault, which is key, and we have the Relic of Phantasms.
Yeah, I would
good to get started.
Yeah, I'm. What was this play? This turn was. I played.
He got the Fury and played. So he's already played one Relic of Extinction. He played the Chaos Strike and the Fury.
I'm interested. It is a bit curious to not play the Vault last turn, because you would have the Relic of Phantasms. I'm guessing we're gonna see a coin Vault plus Phantasms here, but it's gonna get eaten up. So Meltranics to come down, and it doesn't harm that much because you're not really playing any of those two cards in hand. But the Fiendish Circle should come out here regardless, because any clear would full infuse Ratham at this point. And I'd like to see. Yep, you can tap if you like there, and then.
And he does actually do it correctly, because if you tap first, then you would not be able to play that Fiendish Circle.
Agreed.
So with the Bellatrix, he does get it correctly.
Yes, good ordering for sure.
He doesn't have any big, like, he's got the Librarians, but he really wants to see a Vault. He really wants to see another Infuse.
Yeah, for sure.
He's going to have all these Imps die in order to get that Ratham up.
Yeah, and
I wonder if you just sacrifice it.
You can do that. And with Extinction coming in, there's a couple of spots clear, which should make it easier to get Ratham infused next turn.
I think that you do trade in 2. So if you trade in 2 into the Malatranks, and then you drop the Ratham, then you can do a value trade on the Scorpion with the leftover one. However, he's gonna
we go for a tap here. Really, really nice pull off the tap, getting the Vial Library. I'd like to see this go on the Okani here to make the Okani bigger. Because as long as it's on something that's attacking, it's okay. But I'd like to see it on something that can put up a fight against a potential bigger board.
Oh. Huh.
Okay. So
Alright.
we're going to trade off a bunch of things. It's definitely a defensive game plan. I'm curious I'm curious what Eternal's overall game plan will be with this deck. If it's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
was a little bit.
if it's gonna be just a more defensive style. I don't necessarily like defensive style playing when you're playing something like Imp Block, because you have to just push.
No,
You have to push the
push
damage as fast as possible.
And not pushing damage
Yes.
that turn, I think, is a big loss.
Yeah.
I think that I would have liked to, if you're not going to drop the Rafam, which I think was probably what I would have gone for.
Yeah.
Which is just so much stats on the board, and
You just push it.
Relic DH doesn't have great ways.
Yeah.
Unless they're playing topples. They
Hmm.
really don't have that many great ways to wipe a board. And even then, topple, like, you'd still have to draw
Yeah.
a 6 or at least a 5 or 6 cost card, which there's
Yeah.
probably only like 2 or 3 in that deck. Maybe, yeah,
Yeah,
that
this
would be able
This
to do
has
that.
definitely been a super interesting game. I think that this Rafam is going to be pretty big this game at this point, because the Relic Vaults are still just bullshitting in Bassoon's hand.
Yeah, you always go face.
Yeah, you definitely push that damage.
Yeah.
You're threatening. He's got so much damage over lethal, but even if something like the Rafam is dealt with, the Shady Bartender on the back end should really help out.
Don't see a way out of this for
At this point, I don't.
Buffoon.
Yeah, I don't at this point, just because
It's on
I feel like
16.
I mean, there really wasn't a whole lot.
Another 4 stats off the board, so there's still 13. So he's not dead. Actually,
It's pretty close, because he might have to face tank the
Yeah, he has to
4,
face tank
and then
this.
coming back at him is going to be
Yeah, that's
shady.
lethal.
It's going to be a Shady Bartender to buff him again.
Yeah, he's dead anyway.
Yeah,
he's
he's dead on board.
He's 15.
Sees it, concedes the game. So Eternal gets himself a win on the Imp Block.
Yeah, just kind of a little bit unlucky for Bassoon. He did have both vaults, but he just never drew the relic draw, the 5-mana relic draw. The relic of vaults, I think it is. I forget what it's called.
The Relic of Dimensions for drawing.
Dimensions.
I-
Dimensions.
Yeah, I still would have liked to have seen, and obviously we don't know the players, what they're thinking, but just, and like the reasoning for making specific plays. I felt like even on turn 5, like even just dropping, because there was at least 2 triggers, he would have made 3 3s and 4 4s. With Relic of Phantasms, if he just went Vault plus that, maybe. And
Yeah, he
there
put
was
stats on the board for sure.
especially because there was no Rafam on the board at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It would have allowed a board to, because even if he's thinking my opponent might have Rafam here, I need, like, getting those stats there would have been quite nice. Even if it may not have mattered completely in the end, I think it would have, especially with the other relic in there that you could just drop if you needed to. Say you get like dimension. I guess dimensions wouldn't have worked with it, but anyways, we're into game 2. And we're looking at Priest, which is going to be a Wig Priest versus the
I think it's like Rat Hunter.
versus a Rat Hunter.
Yeah, so we see the
I have-
weapon.
I haven't seen this deck. I'm interested by it for sure. So very interesting bring here.
Yeah, it's got a leatherworking kit. He's got, I think we saw. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And this could partially be a byproduct of kind of not being. This could be. Oh, really, really, some nice draws to start getting a
Yeah,
wig. And,
that's
and on turn
really
3, even if you don't get another Naga to play with the wig, you can always just go Cathedral. You can always just play Cathedral and start pushing that way.
I wonder if if this is just a straight up beast. I mean, it's a 30-card beast hunter.
30 card. Yeah, maybe it could be an aggro list. I haven't seen an aggro list really.
You wouldn't play an aggro list though with
leatherworking,
leatherworking
right?
kit.
Yeah, it's interesting. But here we get to see 6
There's
more
just got
damage
a
push.
wound. I mean, we see a wound prey.
Yeah.
I mean, he is going to be able to take this off with the wound prey, which is nice.
Yes.
You can even. I mean, I guess you could go for the wild spirits, and your odds of getting the 3/1 charge are pretty strong. But yeah, I kind of just like taking this out with the prey.
I agree. Yeah. And then just weaving in the hero power. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Ooh, a
I may
handmaiden.
have even traded. I mean, I may have even probably traded away the doggy biscuit just because you want to. I mean, I guess that it's not bad. I mean, you can animal companion and trade if you need to next turn,
Yeah.
or you're trading and trying to get the bear buffs. But I mean, we do see there's the rats, so I think it is some kind of a rat.
A rat
beast.
deck. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that. Yeah. It's
Kennel's a good pickup.
Kennel is a good pickup. You could.
Can't play it though with either of the threes, and that's kind of the problem.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, when you say animal companion, I didn't even look to see that there actually is a 3-mana animal companions.
Yeah, he's
Bringing me,
actually this is
bringing,
old school.
bringing me back to the old school days of Hunter. There was another potential play of just going kennels and making this kind of a big minion with the doggy biscuit. I mean, we do see that there would be something on the way there, something on the way back. Okay, I think here, yeah, we definitely go for the definitely buff up the 1 for sure. Handmaiden's not active yet. I might trade away Shard. Maybe I would have potentially traded away Shard here. But that's a good pickup because that means
that's big.
that means that you get
Buff
to
up
activate
again.
Handmaiden next turn. I like Slither Spear because it's cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, you just want to keep going on this one.
for sure. You could,
Moves, but he doesn't have the elemental in. I'm just hurting him.
yeah, there could have been a case to start spreading the buffs out slightly to the other Slither Spear, but I mean, an 8/8 is very tough to deal with in general for most Hunter decks. Does find a Misha here.
It's the Misha off of the Blade.
Yeah, so
An
we
actual Blade animal companion.
yeah. Not off the hero power. Oh, Valish. So Valish is going to be good later in the game for sure. Let's see what we get off the draws here. We get a Thrive, School Teacher, and Mirkwater Scribe. All right, I like this line. I'd like to see maybe I almost kind of want to see them. I want to see one wig go on the 2/3 if it's going to trade into the 4/1 because you want it to survive. But the game plan is simple. We gonna go with an early.
Yeah, only 2 mana on the Valish.
Yeah, for sure. You can play the wig, and then you can play the wig, and then you can play the Slither Spear to have it active next turn.
Is he gonna?
But it looks like we might be going,
silencing to push damage.
I don't mind this at all. It's pushing a lot of damage. It makes it a 2/1. Now they're down to 9 health. So this is a lot of pressure here against the Hunter. That doesn't
And he loses his leatherworking kit.
Yeah, the kit never goes off. This Shadehound is honestly such a good minion. I don't think they're gonna. You can infuse one of them, but you then
don't see a way to. I mean, he can't put it.
Nope.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's just going to
there's no
take the
stop,
on. He's just going to gonna take the loss by
Takes the L.
swinging into the minion. The Priest of Eternal has won, and now all that's left is the Paladin. And I am curious. I am curious what this Paladin deck is going to be. I would guess it's going to be kind of the control list that we've been seeing become more popular on ladder.
Yeah, I think this. I see already in his hand. He's got the Theotar and the
Okay, yeah,
Deep Floor Savior. So
for sure.
it is probably the one that does play the Jailer that tries to hit the alignment so that your deck, goes in order. And
Yeah.
it's definitely made this Paladin at least a little bit more palatable on ladder. So
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit stronger. We do see the Warrior. I'm guessing with that weapon, that it is going to be the control
It's going to be
warrior.
a control variant. Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be a
Yeah.
40 card controlling warrior. Unfortunately, I don't really know this type of. I don't really know this matchup. Carios is a big part. I know Carios pretty good into these types of decks. Like,
it is good. So there's kind of like two weird ways that like the warrior sort of has the advantage because it does play brawls,
yeah,
and that means that any jailer play, you basically are hoping that there's no brawl on the other side, or you have to have seen both brawls in order for you to play the jailer. So that will hold off on any kind of jailer shenanigans that do come down.
Interesting.
However, that Cariol, the Lightforge Cariol, is going to make it so hard for your all-in combos to win.
Yeah,
Like you're gonna have to hit double of whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to get some kind of like play on the board. It's just that's rough for the warrior here.
What surprised me in the mulligan was throwing away the Cariol. Because getting to play Cariol on 7 is pretty good. Obviously, there's order in the court.
I mean that's the whole real key to this order in the court is that it just makes your draws so consistent.
Yeah, and here's Denathrius. So we'll see.
next
We'll see if there's a jailer in this deck or not. I know I've seen lists that don't run jailer. I've seen lists that do.
Oh, it doesn't. So it does not run jailer.
Okay, yeah. So this is the list that I've been running. The Ajar and Mooncatcher is pretty good here, especially when your deck is reordered. And now you can just when you want to go for some dredge card, you don't feel so bad because you're gonna hit. Because you can hit, the Sunken Catcher. Okay. So we're gonna see the slam to save a card, or to be able to draw a card, I should say.
So he's gonna need to do.
I guess it saves face damage because I feel like maybe equipping the getting an Outrider's Axe down instead, even if you have to trade health. Trading health for draw is also fine, but
I mean, the problem is the warriors. You need to think, how am I going to deal what is ostensibly 80 damage before this Cariol?
Yeah.
I mean, you need to deal damage before this Cariol comes down.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because you're really in trouble trying to get to the end zone once it comes out. Like, unless you have a weapon breaker, and I don't know. Maybe he did put a weapon breaker in this. If he did, then that would be like.
All right, so now we have from the depths here is a good card. It does reduce does make the bottom of the deck better, and you can just throw the Outrider's Axe back on top. Because throwing both Outrider's Axes back isn't exactly what you want to do. Yeah, so I wonder if we're gonna see something even like a Coin Light Ray play here. Righteous Defense I don't think is super necessary. I know it's a Paladin card and it would discount. But maybe I think I think with this hand I think it's just Hero Power Pass would be my.
It's gonna play the Righteous Defense, which does 2 damage.
Yeah, it puts an extra 2 health on the variant that we're gonna get, which I know the reasoning for it is to like be able to hero power without it just being knocked into, but I feel like it does work out technically. I mean, you're sitting at a pretty high health total with 2 turns to go before coining out Cariol. So probably gonna see Light Ray here, I would guess.
Okay, so he does play the one that it does buff up the smite.
Yeah.
It goes for the all-in with the smite on this. I using the coin here. I would have just played the Light Ray.
Yeah, I think. And noticing that we're gonna see the Coin Light Ray. A little bit.
I don't like that play because you want to get to your 8s. Like you want to either get to this. You definitely want to get to this Cariol.
For sure.
That's really the win condition here for you.
Yeah, for sure. And this does get removed by a slam. However, opponent is tanking an extra 5 damage, which does go quite a bit of ways here. All right, let's see what the draw is. Maybe we can get something that.
7.
Oh, it's Leviathan, which is good, but not. I would say not right now, just simply because it doesn't really have anything to attack into, and it does actually play into something like a brawl. But I guess with the 1/1s also kind of would kind of, I guess, dissuade a brawl. But also could say, hey, we've got these things. We've got a 50-50 chance of a bad brawl win.
I mean, you kind of, having the 1/1s on board definitely makes this brawl. And as you see, the 1/1 wins, which is exactly what
the warrior
wanted here.
Yeah. See, we have both 2 to fronts in hand, so combo. Combo can happen, but I don't know if you can actually get it with the Cariol at this point.
Yeah,
and it's
gonna be hard because now the Cariol comes down. He's got to deal 80 damage with it.
Yeah, technically 90 damage at this point, or 80,
90 damage,
or like 88 or 88 to 90 damage, pretty much, and it's definitely possible. But it's very likely that I mean, this Denathrius is getting kind of juiced up. It's at 12. Theotar is pretty nice here. Theotar can even just steal.
It might just win the game right here.
Yeah, can even just steal a piece of the puzzle.
Galvangar, if it gets the Battle Masters.
Oh, perfect hit too. Getting hit the smite with all those minions in hand. I'd love to see the Theotar just get ripped here, and you can even give up like, you can pretty much get rid of most of your hand, like most anything besides, I'd say, like, I think you want to give over Samuro, so you could even go for the Light Ray drop into that, so you're more likely to just give Samuro to your opponent. Yeah. Let's see what Theotar.
You definitely, I mean, Samuro. I guess you could also really want to give him. Sylvanas is probably not a bad one. No, he's gonna hold it.
We're gonna hold the Theo, which is
fine. Mean that the Light Ray is gonna come back into his face here.
Yeah, fortunately, it doesn't deal as much damage to the Paladin as it actually does to the Warrior this time. We've got a 0-mana Shield Shatter because of all the armor, but now it's gonna cost a little bit.
Don't
to the front. We're gonna see an early to the front play here. It's not gonna. I don't believe this is gonna lethal.
No, not even close.
Yeah, we're doing Sanguine this, but it's just not gonna be enough.
So
it's gonna be a lot, but it's just not gonna be enough. I mean, it might end up saving the game.
So essentially, it's 26 damage.
Yeah. So it was quite a lot.
14. I mean, he's down, but
like it's
interesting. How does Eternal answer this?
Brain farting. It's Varian deals with this pretty well. Varian kills off the Varian can kill off the Battlegrounds Battle Master. You can maybe hit it with something else. You definitely don't want a Denathrius here. It's too many different targets. It does the job technically.
Battle Master, but I think it's lethal though.
Is it?
Because those two are gonna do. Yeah, they're gonna do. No. They're gonna. No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
No, it's not lethal yet. It's over 2 turns. So now, so then you can play Varian next turn, and you can remove one of them. Another From the Depths. We're gonna probably look for Forged in Flame to draw more cards next turn.
The only other out that he probably does he have? I mean, unless he plays Grom, this is it. Like,
yeah.
Unless he has.
So the fact that the trade was forced into to trade into. Yeah, it was actually a really weird situation where couldn't lethal but couldn't let the Denathrius live. So I would like to see hero power plus something. Yeah.
I don't know if I like that trade. I think that you have to make him make it.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think you get that damage to the face, and then because at least you're getting it ahead of time, and then you force him to have to.
Oh, there's no Rusher. There is no Rusher in deck. That's right. Samuro and Cariol both were in hand, but that's still a lot to get through. And not enough, and it won't kill the minion, so would still have to be traded in by the 13 damage or
most of the rest of his deck here on the side.
Yeah, we'll see most of the deck drawn. You're right.
There's the Grom.
There's Grommash Hellscream. I don't think it can lethal here. Because of having to
no.
hero power the minion. Grommash wouldn't do 50 damage, so it's gonna have to hold off that for now. Interesting. We're using
He
all
does
of,
have the execute.
execute. Okay.
So he can execute it.
Yeah.
I may have liked to have seen the hero power, but
Yeah, I thought maybe the hero power as well.
7. It was a 22.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's 8, 21.
Mm-hmm.
Another 2 damage.
Yeah. At this point, as soon as this minion is removed, I think as soon as these minions are fully removed, I think it's gonna be almost lights out. I don't think that this warrior deck's gonna have enough damage to get through everything. And you can just put you can just consistently like put taunts and stuff in the way.
What does he do? So he's got the Grom coming down. That is 5 damage. So he does have.
Yeah, it's close. All these cards. I think you want to play Elitist Snob. I think you want to take Elitist Snob here. Maybe. No, you don't really deal with anything. You could take Elitist Snob for another turn, but your hand is actually mostly neutral.
Yeah,
Mostly
like
neutral at
Surge.
this point. I think Surge is good because it heals. And Snob.
Maybe then
play
the.
Because he has to look at the fact that he has no Paladin cards in hand. I think you just Sylvanas one of these minions at this point. Yeah, that could be a bit costly. In the end, I think Sylvanas just to kill off one of the minions and also spend mana. Maybe there was also a line to look School Teacher for like an equality, something like that. Because this deck should run equalities.
So this should be lethal here, with the shield shatter. Yeah. Yep. This should be game.
Yeah, and the warrior from a pretty rough position.
Gets it home.
Just ended up saying, I have this damage and I'm going to use it now, and I'm going to force my opponent to deal with it, which worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, that was the right. As we said, it's not a great matchup for the warrior, and in those cases, you got to go. I mean, you got to make the play, the risky play that gives you the chance to win, and that's exactly what Bassoon Buffoon did. He made the risky play to win, and it paid off for him.
For sure.
Did not have those. I mean, we saw that very early card that he had played on the Finley, the 1/3 Finley. Like, man, that really, he had that in his hand. Saves that. That's a huge one. To reduce one of those 3/16s down to a 1/1. Plus, you're putting that onto another minion on your Dan. So, I think he just got a little bit too. I think he played it a little too slow, and I just think that he didn't. And then probably the elitist Snob play at the end. I think we had looked at probably want to kill one of those minions.
I think because so much of the deck is Paladin cards, it might have been looked over the fact that the hand was entirely neutral cards at that point. So we're here now though in game 2 with some early relics but no vault to play with. So
yeah, that's good. I mean, normally you want the relics. I might have popped out that first relic.
I think I would have extinctioned as well, just because it progresses my relics, and I know that this deck runs a 3-mana 2/4 taunt that I could definitely get to play on the next turn. Now it does work out because there was nothing like a Seafloor Savior follow up. But even then it was still clearable. With the attack there. But here is Muckborn Servant.
Divine Toll, maybe?
I think maybe you take Toll for the high roll potential later on. Squawker doesn't really do a
Yeah, you don't have any buffs.
Yeah, Promotion.
Promotion is
is
also bad because you're not really playing dudes.
yeah, you're not really, but we're gonna see the
I just think the
Squawker.
Squawker.
I didn't know. I didn't think that this deck had anything. Maybe he just maybe it's gonna be a 4-mana 3/4 next turn potentially, thinking in terms of just tempo. But School Teacher in that case is still
Yes, I mean,
pretty
you know,
good.
the toll doesn't really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can also get something off of the Vicar here
I
that you can use with your Squawker.
yeah, maybe for sure. I would like to just School Teacher definitely super solid here. You can get an Avenge. You can get Surge or Equality here. Or Avenge. I wouldn't necessarily pick Avenge, but Vitality Surge is the pick.
Yeah, I definitely think that you probably want to draw cards.
Agreed.
Your hand is not the greatest.
Oh, there's a Relic Vault. That's a pretty good pickup here.
He doesn't have the dimensions though, and that's
no.
But
yeah.
He does have the. He's got a Cymox and he's got the Phantasm here.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Phantasm. It's 2/2s, and you could potentially go for the. We could have seen.
I liked. He plays the.
I don't mind.
Cell Barrage, but I think I would have liked the Extinction there, and then next turn you can Vault and
Vault
then
for
Phantasms to get the 3/3s and the 4/4s.
Yeah.
There. And then that will also juice up your Cymox as well.
Yeah. And so what is this? Oh, this
it's a
is
little bit too slow for me.
Vicar play. That's so Vicar forgetting.
I mean, he still could do that. He's still
Guardian
this turn. He could still Relic of Extinction.
Yeah.
And then do that as well. So I guess it works either way.
Yeah, for sure. It does work either way. I guess Battle Vicar was played in there. I believe the options were Guardians, because Guardian's Grace was taken, but there was, I think there was a Invigorating Sermon, which would have buffed all the minions in the hand deck in Battlefield, I think. I mean, I don't know if that would have been the best pick. Guardian's Grace is a very good card, and you can use it with something like Smite later down the line. But here we go. Extinction was used there. And this Venomous Scorpion is just going to be a menace. But you can just Samuro, technically Samuro it down. I'm not sure I like that. But I would at least like to see a Knight first to see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, that's a big pickup.
Equality is a really good pickup. I'm not sure how you.
You can't do it yet.
No.
And you probably don't even want to do it on this board because you just know that the boards are going to get worse.
No, I think you want to. Yeah, because
you want to play it with the Samuro next turn.
Yeah, you want to play it next turn. I think you want to trade the 1/3 into the 1/1 and just pop the. I would have just popped the Scorpion and played my Light Ray potentially. That's my thought process.
I don't know why he's duding in this position. I guess his plan is that he is going.
Wait. Okay, yeah, you don't want to Righteous Defense on 1/1. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that.
I guess
Samuro now will clear a board regardless, so you can save the Equality for later.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think his plan was to use the Equality and Samuro next turn, which is why we did not see the Light Ray.
Mm-hmm.
The Dimensions.
Relic of Dimensions is so good for next turn. Yeah, full board here, and we're gonna see just trades, and we're gonna see damage pushed.
I don't like that. No, you send it off.
If you want to trade something, you can trade off the 1/1. I know you want to save it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you're trying to save.
Yeah, wait, we don't need to Equality here.
What? No.
I guess it gets a little bit more there for the Samuro. Just make sure to attack anything except the 1/1. Yeah, that's good.
Unnecessary though.
It was definitely unnecessary.
I think he had it, so I think he didn't realize that he had the buff on it.
Yeah.
From last turn, and that was his plan, and he just went with that, and then I think he realized when he put it down.
Yeah, and we're gonna go for a Dimensions Vaulted Dimensions here. I might have almost wanted to see. I almost would have wanted to see the coin Zymox instead. Zymox just creates a massive board. You just saw your opponent use an Equality, so obviously you could figure out that it was created. So maybe they're holding something else, but I think Zymox would have just been so much pressure here.
Was the equality created? I thought that he drew the equality.
Yeah, it was created by Oh, you're right. It was drawn. So that was a drawn one. So that's even more reason to want to go in, I guess, from my point of view. But he chooses to play it a bit slower. No Zymox until next turn. Gets the Bran out with this, so that's pretty good.
General does have the Leviathan to come down and clear up these 2 minions. He's gonna opt for the
variant.
but it won't have rush though. But this was the problem.
No, it will have rush. Carriel.
Oh
yeah,
the Carriel. That's right.
Carriel Roam has rush. Yes. So we get everything, and he can just trade it into the Bran.
Yeah, you can't leave a Bran.
You cannot leave Bran up. It is way too good. But yeah, I think Leviathan also would have been a perfectly fine play there as well. It would have also ticked down the Light Ray to a 2 cost.
I like the Zymox on this turn.
Yeah, Zymox is really good here because
it draws you 2 cards. It's gonna clear up Trance. It's gonna make big minions, big scary board,
massive minions, and that's something that this Paladin cannot usually deal with massive boards unless it gets its other equality.
Yeah, with 1 equality drawn already.
Yeah, you would need.
Excited.
Yeah, you would absolutely need it. Wow. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think you almost want Dimensions to go first because you don't really need to discount stuff by 8 generally, but 2 you definitely want Phantasm.
Yeah, that's
last.
perfect order though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good order.
I mean, it just ended up being nicer because it hit for 7.
Yeah.
And the Carriel or the
For sure.
variant has 7 health.
Yeah, it looked nice.
Oh, so he is playing the Jace. Yeah, he is playing the Jace version, which I figured because he does have the.
It's just Fel Relic. Yeah.
Strikes.
There's no Carriel in hand, no Order in the Courts drawn this game, no Smite. I mean, yeah, you kind of. I don't know.
But you can pair it here, but what are you even looking for with this pairing? You get another quality, but you can only take 1 minion off with the.
Yeah. For sure, there really isn't a whole lot to do with this, because
you have to hope that you top deck into something.
Yeah, you can put a taunt in the way, with the 1/1, but you can Bannerman. I guess it's interesting. Oh, that's right. That's right. You need to play Carriel to remove. It's just lethal coming back, regardless. Right?
Yeah, and you can't get this Light Ray discounted either.
No, you can't discount it twice anymore. So I think you just gotta get rid of the attack on a 9/9, and
it's still
still shouldn't be enough.
Yeah,
because just because alone, I think
because you have 21 on board right there, plus the hero power from.
It's just lethal with the 2 things, but we're gonna get a full Jace play here. Even though the 8/1 and 9/1 attacking would have just been lethal, the Fel Barrage is coming out. All the attacks going in, and that is a tied series.
2-2. We go to game 5.
Yeah, we get a game 5. Buffoon making his comeback.
But see this hunter deck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a rat hunter. I mean, it's a rat hunter. It kind of plays animal companions, which is a little strange, and the leatherworking kit. So, but excited to see. My God, I don't even know who to say who I would favor. I guess the Paladins maybe a little bit more favored, just because it's a little bit more board centric, but. God, I don't know though. This is definitely not a matchup that I know too well. This the Control Paladin versus the Rat Hunter. So. You probably want to full muck all those cards for Eternal. You might keep
the Doggy Biscuit for a Spring Paw here, I guess.
Oh wow! He full keeps the Nathanos. I don't know why you would keep the Nathanos though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Sous-Chef's
I like the Frenzy Fangs. I think that's a good card.
Yeah, I agree.
Even on buff, it's fine. 2/1s are pretty good on 2.
Yeah.
Trade. Okay. I mean, I guess he's. Oh.
Yeah, I guess he meant to trade that. But I mean, at the same time, if Eternal ignores it, then Doggy Biscuit does
Yeah,
come
you
down
can
on
Doggy
it.
Biscuit.
And Doggy Biscuit's like is actually pretty good. I think you definitely want to play the Knight of Anointment here, and then you probably just do you want to maybe trade City Tax? You can just trade City Tax back, for sure here. You can do it first. You can do it after. I don't think anything that's going to be drawn would change the play necessarily.
If you get a Righteous Protector, the 1-mana 1/1 taunt with Divine Shield, you probably would play that over the
Yeah, interesting.
the Anointment.
Yeah.
But
Perhaps.
okay. He's
I'm wondering if there might have been some form of a disconnect. I didn't get any.
profile.
I didn't get any messages about it.
Hmm.
So maybe something happened. Maybe there's some communication between the players going on. Yeah, Bassoon asked if Eternal got disconnected. We're not sure. I'm not sure if that happened. But yeah, I mean, since there's really nothing to show or that there was a disconnect, I definitely just go ahead and play as planned. We got a trade and a hero power. But I'm guessing there was a disconnect, but the client never recognized it. That would be my best guess.
Yeah. This kind of
And
stinks.
it's interesting. Yeah, it does stink. I would guess that, especially in a game.
Okay, alright. It looks like he's back because he's moving cards.
Oh, okay. I guess it was a slight DC. So we'll see, because we'll see if anything gets played this turn. I don't know. It's very interesting, especially in like if it was a game 5 and it was a disconnect. I think maybe we would do a. I'm not sure.
Go to the rule book.
No, it wasn't. It was not. It was not a.
It's no rule book.
It was not a disconnect though. It was not a disconnect.
okay.
It was a AFK because Eternal had to take care of some business off screen. That happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the quality's fine, but yeah, we have
especially with the city tax here.
Yeah.
I mean, is it gonna be critical? I guess it's not. I mean, it stinks. Double animal companion.
Yeah, I mean,
What's those animals?
yeah, the animal companion is coming out in force. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely hold this. I mean, you can't play this equality yet. Maybe
No.
you go for
I think I want to see
Born Servant?
like Muckborn and Order in the Court, maybe.
the problem is like, oh, he's gonna use it, but that's too early. It's only. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. I think it's too early to use that.
I also
We're only
agree.
getting 3 minutes.
Look, I mean, there was another
It's
quality
not
picked up at least, but I would have liked to have seen. I
The
guess
problem with playing Order in the Court really early is that, like, then you're basically saying, like, I'm gonna have to get to those power turns.
Oh sure,
Like,
but
I'm gonna have to use the cards that are in my hand to get me
Oh, of
to
course.
the rest of the game till I can get to the end. And so I think that next turn it's not a bad one,
Mhm.
but it's like you want to hit it
Yeah.
to where it's like the next turn you're hitting the card
Yeah.
off the top that you want.
The reason that I think I would have advocated for that play was because Light Ray would have been playable with next turn, especially because it would have been discounted with the playing of Order in the Courts. But yeah, I can 100% see your line here. We're really using these equalities fast, but maybe it's because he kind of knows what this deck is. That Eternal feels like he is okay, kind of using that equality pretty liberally. We're gonna have to see double trade here, to keep the board to not take a lot of damage.
The Shade
But we
House.
need to see this Order in a Court soon because we're not gonna have. Because at this rate, we're not gonna have Cariel until turn 9.
So if he does it, yeah.
Oh,
So
Shade
he-
Hound is going to. This could get blown. This actually
Yeah, and this is
probably
like-
blows the game out of the water.
Here's where you're like, oh, I wish I would have had. Well, I mean, he does have 5.
So
So he can
So Leviathan.
clear up the
So
Shade Hound.
yeah. So Leviathan clears the board, or it doesn't clear the board fully.
No,
but,
it doesn't clear the board, but it
you
does
wanna-
get the Shade Hound and it takes out the 5/3, so you
Yeah.
only have a 5/1 left up.
Yeah.
And you do get to draw, which is big.
Yeah.
So you're not dead yet.
Okay,
in this regard.
You take the Bannerman here, likely. Bannerman's good. Now you draw it. I'm always particularly a fan of drawing first and then dredging, but
Why would you trade the low health one over the big health one?
yeah. So we got Rodent's Nest, and then we got this. So Rodent's Nest is gonna get popped here, because that will be a rush. That will be a rush. No, it's not a beast.
It's not. It's not a beast. I think you
It's a
didn't
rodent's
realize
nest. It is not the rodent, so it is just a rush. Okay. Yeah, it's
that's a
fine.
good one.
Still, it is an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's not actually
yeah.
a beast.
Yeah.
The cards that come out of it are beasts.
Yeah, for sure.
But not that is actually
Yeah.
a beast.
Here, I'd like to see the order in the courts, because you're gonna get you're gonna get the other light right here,
Yeah.
and you're
so
gonna
you can
have
play
double
both.
0 mana. You're gonna have double 0 mana raise.
So I like that. You can then Bannerman.
Yeah, you can banner him in, and you'll draw your Carriel.
Is it no? It's draw a minion.
Oh, so you'll draw Smite. Or a random, I don't know. Yeah, and unfortunately this Dredge, you just get to pull... You want Knight of Anointment here from it, because you'll at least get to draw one of your holy spells. You'll draw one of your righteous defenses.
But why wouldn't you not? You're gonna banner. You want to banner him in first. Like he just missed two.
Is his
one
deck
of hell bombs.
Oh, I guess it's a random pull, the minion pull.
Yeah, the Bannerman is a random minion
now
pull,
we're
but
but now we're gonna Dredge again, and probably... I guess they took a Righteous Protector. Now you should take the Knight of Anointment.
the Knight of Anointment, yeah.
Knight's so good. And it'll draw it in, I know you'll draw it in 2 turns, but this just puts the Carriel way farther back in the deck. Like, now it's 2 draws away from getting the card you really, really want.
Yeah.
This is a really nice board. And Shadehound does not really cause a blowout here. Which is good.
It's coming on 3/3. That's for
yeah,
certain.
for sure. But I think you can just deal. I think you just kind of have an ability to deal with them, especially with Battle Vicar. And we're very likely still sending a good chunk. He's very likely still sending a good chunk of damage back.
Yeah, what's his Denathrius is 7.
Denathrius is juice. Or it's not really that juice. It's at 7. I'd like to draw. I'd like to take Flash of Light here for a draw.
Yeah,
because
I do agree.
Because that means that
And you
next
get-
turn you get Carriel.
Yeah, and you're gonna need that to win.
Yes.
The Nathanos, I think, would only give him.
Nathanos
Or
would give.
rats.
Yeah, we only give rats for sure. I like Seed Cloud Buckler here, surprisingly, because
It's not bad. You do already
because he would be able to trade it, and then once he plays Carriel next turn, he would actually pop it and give all his minions Divine Shield.
He's gonna play Righteous Defense. He does love his Righteous Defenses.
Yeah, and it really is kind of.
Just play anytime they're in his hand.
Yeah.
Like they burn a hole in his hand. So he just loves to play. You go face with this. You send everything face. I mean, you send everything.
Yeah, you send everything
7
face.
better go
For
face.
sure, because you have this 4/6 taunt in the way now, yeah. There is going to be a bear here, so the bear will be able to, like, be rushed in.
Does that do anything for you?
It
So if you trade it, it does give your bear rush, or it gives the bat rush here.
would
but I
give
don't-
one of them rush, yeah.
Thanos is not doing anything for you.
Agreed.
I mean,
yeah.
it's going to give you some more. I guess in the sense, like it
Oh,
might give you, but you've
interesting,
seen both Shadehounds already,
Yeah.
so you know that you can't really buff your rats
Yeah.
again.
I guess Doggy Biscuit is probably going to play it on one of the rats here. Okay, we're going to trade it.
I'm just going to trade it.
Okay.
I think that's the right play.
I can see that, yeah. Stack Charge as well. Stack Charge will allow the Leviathan to get removed. So, but this Denathrius is actually just gonna keep taking some buffs, and that's good. It's gonna go up to 12 here, with not that much on board. This lethal? Is Denathrius lethal? Denathrius is lethal, by the way.
12? Yeah.
So that's the match. That is the game. The game is over if Denathrius gets played. Just have to count. There's 5 and 5 and 7, and then you just attack with one of your minions.
Trade both of those in. Well, you could just. I mean, yeah, you trade both.
Yeah, trade them both in, and then Denathrius is lethal. Yeah, you're right.
Does love those righteous defenses, though.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. Okay.
All right, for sure. In game 5,
Well, despite the AFK, he comes back to win. Didn't hurt him there. Yeah, I think the Beast Hunter just kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah.
And the Shade Hounds came down. They did get a lot of buffs, but they just weren't very effective at the time. And Eternal was able to come up with the second equality, which was a huge pickup for him after he played the first one that really didn't give him a lot of value.
Yeah.
But yeah, good on Eternal. Congrats to him winning. 50 PR. That's going to boost him up. Always good to get a win. And
yeah, for sure.
Needed it for his team for the playoffs. And for Bassoon Buffoon, he started out down, fought back to tie the series up 2-2.
Definitely.
And you always feel good about at least getting some wins. You didn't get blown out, but good plays on both players. I think was there a time during either game that you thought the other person could get in?
I think the Paladin Warrior game was winnable.
I think Eternal, had he played a little bit. I mean, I think that Bassoon Buffoon made the right play. Mm-hmm. He got aggressive. Yeah. He said, I'm going to have to just deal damage, push him, and see if he can stop me.
Yeah.
And eventually, he did run out of options. Although I think he did misplay a little bit with the Snob, thinking that it would get taunt, but of course he had no Paladin cards in his hand. So many neutrals. But
so we are going to have Eternal in here for a quick interview. Before we close out. Hello, Eternal. Welcome and congratulations. Hello, congrats.
Hey,
and welcome.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah, congrats on the win.
Yeah, forget I roped out there.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we were a little bit confused, but you were just showing off your skill.
Yeah.
Sure.
People give him a few free turns. I don't need that. You can have.
Yeah, no, I informed the audience of what had happened. So, all good. Things happen, and you need to sometimes take care of things outside of the game. So, congratulations, regardless. Looked a little looked like the Paladin might not exactly get there, but it did find its way through the Beast Hunter.
Yeah, when I got back, I had to look at my hand, look at the board state.
Yeah.
It didn't look too threatening. And we were in the early enough stages of the game where A, I could come back. B, I'm playing Renathal, right? You have that 40 life cushion. Yeah. And his build of Hunter, it doesn't have, lethality, right? That's the big problem with Hunter decks of Castle Nathria. Is that while they're very good at being proactive and playing your typical Hearthstone, they don't have the reach needed to close out long, dragged-out games. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just particularly with kind of the Shade Hunter Beast version of the deck for sure. If the Shade Hunters didn't kind of blow the game away, which it didn't in either game that it was in, for sure, yes. It definitely would have had a hard time keeping up, especially when you had Cariel coming into your deck pretty soon into your hands. So in that particular game, but
I do need to ask, what was in the Paladin Warrior game? What was the reason behind playing the is it Judgment? I always forget. Righteous. The 3-mana card. Oh,
defense.
Sorry,
Righteous Defense.
Righteous Defense. Yeah, playing the Righteous Defense on his Finley.
It
Because
was
we
a
were
tough
the
call. It was a tough call to do the racist defense on the Finley because right, like I'm only getting 2 health out of 2 health, I believe, right, out
yeah.
of the righteous defense. But I also wanted to be able to take down my light ray, in order to, like at least be able to play it at some point. I am of the philosophy that even like doing something is better than just doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like you're still progress,
Yeah,
and
no,
as
player
long as it's progressing
participation.
towards a goal that you want to achieve in the game, even if it's not the most optimal play, you kind of have to go for it sometimes.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that was kind of one. It did kind of throw off, and then next turn, I think you ended up having to coin out the light ray on that.
Yes,
So
and I do realize I did miscalculate that. I'm thinking back at it.
yeah, there was that, and I think the snob one too. I think at the end of that game,
Yeah.
or the end,
Yes.
you
Oh
played
man,
this.
I brain farted
You
there.
were like, oh,
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
a lot of I knew I was misplaying pretty badly, like in some of those games. I didn't have enough practice throughout a lot of practice throughout the week,
Mhm.
uh, especially because like I
Because
work, but like from my work, so I don't really get a chance to practice
no,
these
definitely.
decks.
oh, for sure.
So yeah, so it's
Oh, yeah, that happens
pretty.
for sure.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, 2 to 10, 2 to 10 schedules are not easy
No,
when it comes
they are
to
not.
practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that we did learn from Buffoon's side on the misplay is that the rodent nest
Is not
is
not a
not
beast.
actually a beast,
Nope.
but it does make beasts. But it itself is
Yeah.
not a beast, so it
Yeah.
cannot get the rush. So
For sure.
Yeah, it. Yeah, I was surprised that they were running like that though. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it definitely seemed a bit of a. It was just definitely an off-meta bring.
It
And
was.
sometimes those.
yeah,
And sometimes those work.
Yes,
Sometimes you can get.
animal companions.
Yeah. Well, like sometimes those can work and they can get through. And in this case, it didn't work. But you had a very you seem to have a pretty solid game plan. You brought like solid decks all around, and it helped you get the win. And obviously, coming back after losing 2 games in a row, it's not the easiest thing sometimes. So, really good on you to get that game 5 win and not take a reverse sweep, and also get some very valuable points for your team, as your team's in a tight playoff race. And also, a 5-3 season for you is also very good.
This is the first season I've actually went positive.
Oh,
I think.
Well, congrats. That's awesome.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I remember the big accomplishment of having a first positive season in THL.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You always finish out on the plus side. So,
Definitely.
what are your hopes, I guess, for playoffs? Your thoughts? Tell us what you're feeling.
I'm hoping that once playoff starts, I'm pretty sure everyone will have a firm grasp of the meta. So I'm looking forward to seeing how me and my teammates are able to adapt to, this latter half of the expansion when not a lot of experimentations going around. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some cheese lineup or something in the playoffs. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how that ends up if we do make it there. Of course, the rest of my teammates still have yet to play their games.
Excellent. Well, good luck to you guys and the rest of the team on this week. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you can push for that top seed and avoid Fish's team.
Oh yeah, my team is, yeah. So essentially, my calculations that we think is very likely is whichever team doesn't get the 1 seed in Blue Conference is probably gonna have to play the 1 seed from Gold, and my team is very much in that race. So, we'll see how things play out for the rest of the season all across THL. I know we have some matches tomorrow night. I'm not sure when they're going to happen. I think they're going to be pretty late. I think they're going to be starting at 10 p.m. Eastern. Which would be-
Yeah, I think it's pretty late.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a Pro Series playoffs match between Based Inc. and Donde, I believe, and then at 11 p.m. it's gonna be a final week of a Wild Series match between Swagwar and Devalian, which would be interesting. It's always fun to see Wild get on stream. As someone who does keep up with the Wild meta, I know what decks are being brought, especially because I kind of know like a general idea of the decks that are being brought, and especially since one of the players is on the team I captain, so that's all good. Excited to see my player get on stream. So
Yeah, Wild
for
is
sure.
just blows my mind sometimes.
Wild
so.
is so funny. It's a funny format, but yeah. Don't want to take up any more of people's time. I just want to say thank you to Eternal for playing. Thank you to Bassoon Buffoon for playing. Andy Rogers, thank you for coming on cast. Looking forward to having you around for the rest of the season. Our fellow co-caster Dank is dad unavailable this week. We wish him obviously the best with what he's doing, and we'll see him next week hopefully for some matches. So playoffs being on next week, please, if you want to play on stream, go to the stream match request channel in the Discord, or you can message myself. You can message me or Lotus or Saku directly. We'll get you to the person you need to talk to. So yeah,
let's get in there, boys.
Yeah,
Come
we'll
on.
see.
We got playoffs going. We need some
For
playoff
sure.
matches. Get on the stream, everybody.
Definitely. So we will see you all tomorrow night for Salty Saturday. I didn't rename it, so it looks like it's been Salty Saturday this whole time, but no, it has been Friday Night Fights. And yep, that's gonna do it here, and we will see everyone next time. Good night, everyone.
Take care, guys.